Attention, people of Stanton. A great injustice has been done to you. For decades, the spineless bureaucrats of your government have been selling you and your fellow citizens piece by piece to the alien scum outside our borders and to their corporate masters within. Their greed, only matched by the absolute disregard for the values that made humanity great in the first place. My brothers and sisters have watched them feed on the dying carcass of the Empire for long enough. With the passage of the Human Xi'an Trade Initiative, it's clear that the government is happy to sell the final parts of humanity into servitude. The time has come to send a message that we will not consume their lives anymore, that we are the ones in charge. Stanton will be the first step in a revolution to take back the soul of the Empire. You will be witnesses. We are Xenothreat. Out.
So it's finally here. Star Citizen's first ever server-wide event called the Xenothreat, where you, along with everybody else in the Stanton system, are pit up against a terrorist organization that wants to see all aliens, including sympathizers, removed from the United Earth Empire by whatever means necessary. And they're starting with your home system, Stanton. But how does this event work, and how can you participate? Do you need a big group, or can you be in it solo? And finally, is it fun? I can tell you right now, guys, that this may just be the best time to hop back into Star Citizen ever. So sit back, relax, and let me tell you why. And if you think I did a good job by the end, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, because it really helps me out. Otherwise, you can also check me out over on my Twitch channel, where I stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Unlike some of the more rigid and sometimes repetitive events you may have experienced in traditional MMOs, like those in World of Warcraft and my favorite Star Wars Galaxies, those that occur in the universe of Star Citizen are intended to be dynamically affected by participants, including NPCs. The amount of attackers, defenders, and resources will be dynamically affected by how many players participate and how much they help, which feeds into future elements and phases of the event. Eventually, this determines the outcome of the event, which will have a real and lasting impact for the universe of Star Citizen and its players. What this means is that events will only happen once and in a linear fashion, without a chance to repeat, unless the lore or story makes sense for that to happen. To participate, you'll need to check your contract manager in the priority tab for a CDF defense mission against the Xenothreat. The current event has 3 phases, one of which has already passed, which leaves us now in Phase 2, which is the resupply and defense phase. Here, citizens are called to the UEE's forward operating base Jericho to resupply Stanton's lone Javelin destroyer-class capital ship in anticipation for a major incursion by Xenothreat. But it won't be a walk in the park, because the Xenothreat is also sending occasional raiding parties led by an Idris-class capital ship with a keel-mounted Size 10 railgun, capable of taking out the destroyer prematurely before Phase 3. While some citizens resupply then, others will need to draw off the Idris in order for the ship to be completely restored. To resupply the Javelin, you'll be given coordinates in a gas cloud to locate destroyed supply ships. These will have to be found by either visually searching the area or using your system scanner to scan out and ping for objects nearby. But these gas clouds are kind of dangerous because they are hiding unseen foes, who can pop out at any moment to take a pot shot at you and run away. And they may not just be NPCs, as there are some reports that players have tried to join the Xeno threat even though they don't want their help. So be careful out there. While this sounds dangerous, there are a lot of players who will be in this area helping to defend anybody being attacked, even if they're not in your party. So, players who are not much into combat and just want to help by resupplying should feel relatively safe. I've heard from more than one source that players have been helping each other without being prompted to do so, seems like people are working together, like for real. Once you locate a wreck, you're going to want to use your scanning tool once again to scan down what's inside the wreckage. You'll want to do this and cross-check it with what's at the top center of your screen, which tells you what is required still by the Javelin, either Zetaprolonide, Acryloplex, or Diluthermex. But you want to pay attention for names as well. If you see life signs on board, that means that there may be pirates or players on board. The way to tell the difference is twofold. One, you can check to see if there are any ships floating nearby. That's a good sign there may be a player on board. And if there's a space in the name when you scan down the wreck, that could mean, and likely means, that it's a pirate because NPCs can have spaces in their names while players cannot. You may have to search around the wreckage to gain access to it though, because each one is going to be different, and the route to the cargo bay is going to be a bit of a maze and a challenge. My advice to you would be to take a primary weapon and make sure you clear out the vessel before you start taking packages. If you're not very good at FPS combat, then ask a friend who is to come with you, or message somebody on the server who may be in the area to help you clear out a wreck. Also, don't forget that Star Citizen has VoIP, so you can call out to somebody who's not in your party or your friends list to say hello and tell them that you're friendly before you come in. Now, for those of you who are really into FPS combat and may have played in the past, this patch is a huge improvement over what we've had before. The servers are running better than ever, which means that FPS AI more often than not will actually shoot back and shoot back very accurately, so don't take it too lightly or you may end up dead. Doors and corners, kid. Doors and corners. Once you've cleared out the wreck, then you can go and head down to the cargo bay and activate one of the generators to open up the main cargo bay door to more easily extract the cargo that you need. But before you start grabbing these things and just throw them on your ship, you better read the fine print, because each type has a unique property. The Diluthermex, for example, this yellow one, can't be taken into quantum travel because it will explode and kill you, so you're gonna have to slow boat this one back to Jericho Station. The Zetaprolonide, the green one here on the other hand, can be taken into quantum travel but has a timer, so it has to be taken back quickly. The last one's the blue one, Acryloplex. Now this one can be taken into quantum travel and doesn't have a timer, but you guessed it, it can also explode and kill you, but this one only if you bang it around too much or move it too quickly. So handle all these with care. One thing I would recommend though if you wanted to do the resupplying yourself is to bring a tractor beam tool, the multi-tool with the tractor beam bit attached to it. You can buy both of these items at any of the major ports including Microtech's New Babbage, so make sure you pick one of those up before you head on out if this is what you'd like to do. It's really going to save you a lot of time because don't forget that, well, not only are some of these things timed like the green one here, but you can be attacked at any time by players or NPCs or be called back to defend Jericho Station, and if you're the only ones on the server then that Javelin may be destroyed. To make things clear and easy, when we ran the event last Saturday, we had some people defending while some people loaded. That way everybody knew what they had to do and there wasn't too much confusion. It seemed to work really, really well, and a few people and fighters can defend against the Xenothreat incursions around the wreck sites pretty easily if they're decent at dogfighting. Once you've cleared out the wreck of everything that's required, you should head on back to Jericho Station with your load. Just make sure you adhere to the particular element you've taken's requirements so that you don't lose it or die before you get back. Once you arrive back at Jericho, find yourself a pad and land, or fly nearby it if there's no pad available, and head on into one of the open areas just off the pad, which allows you to sell the items at one of the terminals. Here you'll be paid for your work, and the more you participate and the more that you bring back, the more money you'll make per hour. But between defending and resupplying, is this actually fun in the experience of myself and people who've participated in the event on stream and in the Armco community? Well, heck yeah, it is. This is the most fun I've had in Star Citizen in a really long... Actually, you know what? Screw that. This is the most fun I've ever had in Star Citizen. This is the first time I've been able to get together with my community and form a fleet to go after an enemy that's built into the game, something that we didn't create ourselves through some artificial scenario. There's something in this event for most everybody. If you're not in a combat, you can be part of the resupply and support. Even better, if you only have a starter ship, you can still have fun, because you really don't need to be going after the Idris to make a difference. If you kill enough of its support ships, it peels off and runs away. You don't actually have to blow it up to win, so everybody has a chance to do something meaningful, including people who are doing the resupplying only without participating in combat, because the resupply is what helps refuel and rearm the Javelin that's going to help us in Phase 3, and ultimately it's the trigger, some speculate, for Phase 3 itself. And it doesn't matter if you're fighting or if you're resupplying, everybody's making a ton of money. So if you're a new player, this is also a great way to start upgrading your own kit or earn a new ship. One new player that participated in the event last Saturday with me started from less than 1,000 UEC to over 200,000 after 2 hours of participating with us. And that was only running boxes, not even killing any NPCs. But what I think I really love about this event is just how many different things can happen at once. You could be working on resupplying the Javelin when suddenly the Idris appears and you have to peel off and go defend while some of your guys still resupply, because that ultimately is the goal and how you win. And the Idris battle itself isn't just about blowing up the Idris. You have to disable it and turn it away by killing off its support ships, which will cause it to warp away, or by shooting off of its weapons to neuter it effectively so that it has to go back to its home base. One of the Armco guys actually brought a C-788 ballistic equipped hammerhead to blow off that size 10, and man did it work well. So I guess what I'm saying here, guys, is even if you only have a starter pack, I really think right now is the best time to hop back in, because it's never been more fun. If you want to participate with me and my community, head on over to the Armco Discord down below where you can find out the next time we're running this event. It's pretty much going to be going all week. This event itself is limited time only too, so if you're watching this later, it may have already passed. Make sure you hop on as soon as possible. So I hope to see you guys out there in the verse.